You guys, today we have a fun book tag. You know how much we love book tags, and our favorite booktuber, Steph Ford, created a tag, so we knew we had to participate.
There are about 15 questions, and they're tough questions. Like, when I was trying to prepare for this, I had a hard time.
We wish that book tags would come back around and all the big booktubers would create more because we love doing them. So everyone pressure them in their comments to start making book tags. Normally we just put up pictures of the books we're talking about, but today we came prepared and brought all the books, so we have them to show you guys. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We have the questions here, and question number 1 is, what is a book you tell people is your favorite?
I enjoy so many different books, but it's hard for me to pick one that would be a favorite. If I had to answer the question, I would need to pick a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, just because I've read so many of hers and I absolutely love everything about her and her writing and her stories. But I think my most favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This one just is everything that I want in a novel. You have the romance, you have the historical fiction that I'm realizing that I seriously love. There's also a little bit of mystery in there that keeps it really fun and entertaining. So when people ask me, this one just automatically comes to mind. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid.
We know. Yeah. Speaking of things we know, I for a long time felt the same way. I never had a favorite book. I hadn't found one that made me feel confident in saying it was my favorite until I read this one, and you guys already knew it was coming. It's the Mind F series by S.T. Abbey. Yes, it's technically 5 books, but since it's all in one physical copy and I read it in one sitting, I do consider it one book. It is a dark romance, but it's intertwined with a mystery thriller. You've got like a gruesome mystery at the core of this, but the way that everything unravels is just so entertaining. I'm in love with the characters, with the story. I just thought it was absolutely amazing. It does have every trigger in the book, so make sure to be aware of that if you want to read it, but I just thought it was super amazing. This one stays with me. I think about it often. So I am confident when I tell people this is my favorite book, because as of now it is.
Question number 2 is, what is a book that is your guilty pleasure?
Easy, and you guys knew it. It's the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. You guys, this is the perfect definition of a guilty pleasure series, because you know it's not good. Like, you know it shouldn't be this enjoyable, but it is for me. I say it all the time, but I devour these. They're just such entertaining reads. They're quick, dark romance books. They've got thriller aspects. The romances at the core are solid. Is the writing great? Absolutely not. But I will continue reading them.
So much hate on this series that I feel guilty for liking it.
Okay.
That's why I picked the ACOTAR series. I think it's fantastic, especially this one, but I do feel like every time we bring it up, I'm scared that people are gonna be like, that's the worst series ever, because I know a lot of people feel that way. It just makes me feel guilty for liking it, but I mean,
it's a safe space here.
Okay.
We won't judge you.
I hope not.
I love that series too.
Yeah.
Question number 3 is, what is a book everyone loved but you didn't?
I didn't really love the Folk of the Air series. I had all 3 of them. I read all 3 of them, but I knew right away at the first one that I wasn't interested, but I kept going because I already owned them. I thought I was gonna love this just as much as I loved ACOTAR, but I feel like the characters and the plot and just like everything about this world didn't even match to that one.
I like your answer better than mine. I would like to change mine to this, because this is a good answer. I went the easy route and I picked Twisted Love, but now I feel like your answer is so much better, so I'm gonna change mine to another book, The Summer Broken Rules. I saw a bunch of people raving about this book, especially during the summertime. I didn't love it.
Question number 4 is, what is a book that you read the fastest?
We read so many books in one sitting for like reading vlogs or if we're trying to catch up on stuff, so I'm not sure what book I actually physically read the fastest. But a recent one that I know I read in one sitting just because it was that good was Saint by Adrienne Young. Oh my gosh, now that I'm picking all these up, y'all are tired. Y'all have heard it all before. I'm gonna pretend this is the first video you've ever seen of us though. So, Saint by Adrienne Young. I love Adrienne Young. Her books are so fast-paced and so entertaining. This is a prequel to the Fable duology, and it was really good. I read it super quick.
I read The Housemaid by Frida McFadden so fast. I remember when I was reading this book that I was kind of at a time crunch, so I really wanted to just read this one in one sitting. But if I wasn't in a time crunch, like, would I have kept putting it down? I don't know, but I really did enjoy it. Even though I knew where it was going to go, I was still so interested in seeing like how everything was going to play out, how that problem was going to come to light. But yeah, these are a good time. This one's fun.
Question number 5 is, what is a book that deserves more hype?
Easy. All Our Broken Pieces by L.D. Crichton. Back in the day, not back in the day, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You told me to read this book. This is a YA romance story, and it is so good. I can't believe this one isn't as big as so many other YA romances. Like, I feel like it deserves that. The characters were so good. Like, the plot, everything that they were going through was just so entertaining to read about. And I just remember really liking this one. And this one's always at BookOutlet, too.
Yeah.
And that's how you found it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of our main characters are going through some heavy things in their life right now, and they're just finding comfort with each other, and that is so freaking cute. Yeah, highly recommend.
That was a good one. And good segue, because another one that I randomly found on BookOutlet and just bought because it was super affordable was 9 by Zach Hines. If you saw our February wrap-up, you saw me talk about it. I'm not going to get into it because I've been talking about it recently, but it's basically the same world as ours, but humans have 9 lives. So you kind of just deep dive into what all that entails and how this society functions. There's a mystery at the root of the story too. I thought it was really good. It was fast and entertaining. Sometimes you gotta take chances with these books, and we found great ones. BookOutlet is just, you can't beat it.
Okay, next question. What is a book that is becoming a movie or TV show?
Everything.
Every single one.
Everything. I wrote down a couple. I put Scythe, ACOTAR.
Daisy Jones just came out. I need to watch it.
Daisy Jones just came out. Project Hail Mary we just read.
The Last Thing You Told Me.
The Last Thing You Told Me.
7 Husbands coming out.
There's a bunch.
I've started just accepting that everything I'm reading is just going to turn into a movie adaptation or a TV show adaptation, which is fine. I just think it's crazy that every time I'm done with the book and I look it up, it's in the works.
So number 7 is, what is a book you have reread the most? We don't reread books.
I don't reread books, but one that I have reread is, let me see.
Which one?
Here, that one. Yep.
The one I'm about to pull?
Oh. Okay,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we have the same
We have
answer.
the same answer.
This is the only book I've reread. The Summer I Turned Pretty. I reread those once we started getting back into our reading journey. It was so fun to like reread them and like know which scenes are about to come up.
Just re-experiencing it while we're older too.
Yeah.
It
It still hits.
It still hits. Eventually I would like to reread books, but it would be like when I forget stuff that happens.
Yeah. Question number 8 is a book from a genre you don't typically read.
I had no answer for this, you guys. The only reason I picked this one up is because it is labeled middle grade, and it was the first middle grade book that I read. I do love me a good YA, but this was like younger.
I just picked a science fiction book that you guys had been telling us to read over and over again, and we finally did, Project Hail Mary, and we really liked it. I cannot wait to see Ryan Gosling play the main character in the movie. I think it'll be fantastic. Super intimidated going into this, knowing it's a science fiction. The audiobook definitely helped me with that, just because I would just kind of let it play in those really like mathematical moments, like super scientific moments that I don't think I would have like completely grasped while reading.
I got you.
I know you got me. I know you got me, but I don't know about everybody else.
They got you. So number 9 is, what is a book that deserves all the hype it gets?
I have this book. I don't want to get it down from my shelf because I don't want to ruin my precious stack over there, but it's going to be Verity by Colleen Hoover. That is still very much one of my favorite mystery thrillers to this day. And say what you want about Miss Colleen Hoover, but I just thought that mystery thriller was fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah. Guess what it is for me. Guess what it is. I'll tell you. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Here's the thing. This one, so much hype. Still, to this day. When did this come out? 2017? And I mean, I'm still seeing people just now picking it up. I mean, I was one of them. I was super late to this series, but it deserves all the hype, you guys. Come on. All these people picking up ACOTAR, pick this one up too.
Well, no, they should read ACOTAR first and then go into that. Don't you think?
It depends. If you're in it for the romance, ACOTAR is more romance. This is just more of literally everything else.
The next one is, what is a book you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation? Looking down here, I can see we have brought the same book for this question, which is great. And it is The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood.
This is the only book that comes to mind when people ask me for recommendations. That's like one of the first questions people ask when you tell them that you're a reader. And I dread this question because I never have any recommendations. This is the only one I think that's like solid.
Yeah.
That like anyone would enjoy.
It's good for a beginner reader, just because there's not like a whole lot of smut that you like don't want to scare someone new. But yeah, this is definitely a good option. I also got like a Taylor Jenkins read one. Very easy, simple story to read and understand. I think this one's a good recommendation. This one was crazy. I'm still shocked. This one's a good mystery thriller recommendation.
Question number 11 is, what is a book that has your favorite characters?
I'm gonna say, like, my favorite characters will always be the core 6 in this Addicted Calloway Sister series. I feel like I just know them so well. I feel like they're real people. If you asked me which character would have said this, I think I could answer that, just because
we know them so
we know them so well. Yeah, they feel like real people. I feel like I watched their reality TV show. These 6 characters are like characters that I'll just always remember.
I'm sorry I don't have a better answer than what I'm about to say. Am I gonna pick up a book I've already talked about? Yes. But let me explain myself, okay? When I think about Throne of Glass, okay? I know not everyone loves Sarah J. Maas, but the character, Aelin Galathynius, is my favorite character that I've ever read about. To the point where anytime I read a book with a very strong main character, I automatically imagine Aelin. I'm gonna have to say Throne of Glass just because Aelin is unbeatable. I have yet to read a character I've loved as much as her. Question number 12 is, what is a book you wish you could live in?
I picked Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This one, I've said it multiple times. The small town romance in this is so cute. And while I was reading this, I just could see myself living here with these people, being friends with these people, going to the bars in here. Like, I could just see me doing that.
So for me, I picked the Zodiac Academy series. This world just sounds so fun, okay? But I don't want to be one of the main characters. And I probably wouldn't be. But just being like a background student that goes to these magic schools, like you have magic class, you go to the parties, like I just think it would be so fun. It's basically like Harry Potter but adult, and Hogwarts always has too much stuff going on. So I think this world would be fantastic.
13. What is a book you thought you would hate but ended up loving?
I don't read books that I think I would hate, but a book that did surprise me, I didn't think I was gonna love as much as I did, was Everything I Never Told You. A lot of these answers are the books I just read in February.
I know.
But this one, I was just really surprised. Basically, it was just a really good family-driven story. We got to deep dive into all of the family members. I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, I don't necessarily read books I think I would hate.
I picked up Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino, knowing that this is a second chance romance book. I think normally in second chance romance books, the reason that they need a second chance is because there was nothing but miscommunication the first time. And that's what I hate about second chance romance books. But this one, I felt like they genuinely had like a good reasoning on why it didn't work out the first time. It truly was a right person, wrong time romance, so I think that's why I really enjoyed it. But this one was so good. I definitely recommend this one.
Moving along, question number 14 is, what is a book that made you cry?
This is the last book that made me cry, and it's The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I was crying throughout this whole book, and then once I hit like the last few pages, it was just completely sobbing time for me. But I mean, I love that. That just means the book was that good. The characters were that good. I like truly deeply cared about what was going on. The Nightingale is just about 2 sisters during the World War II. They're both going through very different experiences, but they are both such strong women who truly made a difference in the World War II by helping, you know, with the children and the mothers during this time. And it was just so eye-opening to read about, because I'm sure there were stories like this that actually went down in the World War II and we like never hear about them. I just thought it was so special to read about, and serious read, but I absolutely loved it.
Will I tear up a little bit at the end of a good book? Yes, because anytime there's something a little bit emotional, I'm like, oh, my heart, you know? This book was not like that. This book was pain, and I sobbed, and it's the kind of cry where like you feel empty afterwards. It was If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. And yes, I should have known, because anytime there is a sad book recommendation, this is number 1. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. I had originally given this a 4.5 star. Days afterwards, I was still thinking about it, and I rewatched one of our first videos, us talking about what qualifies as a 5-star read for us. And after hearing my own words, I bumped this up to a 5 because it deserves it. Right person, wrong time, and they keep missing each other. Super good. I cried. If you want a good cry, read this. Honestly though, don't do it to yourself. That would be my opinion. Don't even do it to me.
I'm gonna do it to myself. The last question is, what is a book you wish you could read for the first time?
I came to The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Phenomenal. It was written so beautifully. It is still a tragic love story. If I had to reread a book, if I had to experience a book again for the first time, it would be this one. Really, really beautiful story. I mean, everyone and their mom has read it already. If you haven't, I highly recommend. Another sad book that made me cry. The back says, we were like gods at the dawning of the world, and our joy was so bright we could see nothing else but the other. Oh my god!
We're gonna cry right now.
I haven't read anything this poetic since then.
For me, I did pick The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. This one was just so bittersweet. The characters in this book were so precious. They were just so fun to read about. Like, I truly cared about everybody in this book. I wanted everything to work out for them. The adventures they went on, like, this was just such a special book. I still need to read Under the Whispering Door.
Yeah, that was super fun. We hope you got some new book recommendations maybe throughout this video. For the most part, we talk about these all the time though.
Yeah.
For good reason. These are our favorites.
We love reading y'all's answers when we do tags like this. So let us know some of your answers in the comments.
Also, let us know any other book tags you see going around that you want us to do. We will do them. But yeah, this was super fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's gonna be it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. You know what it looks like? You know that scene in Hocus Pocus? And Zachary Binks is like running through trying to find his sister? He's wearing this shirt.
That is the shirt. 15 questions, 15 times 2. What is that?
30. I did go in depth about this book in the wrap up if you're really interested, but I know you're not. So
most favorite Taylor Jenkins read is this. My most favorite Taylor Jenkins read
book. You saw me talk about it. It's so. What's the question?
Me loving it as much as I do makes me feel. Why is this like therapy?
I know, like we're unwrapped.
This is like deep therapy. No.
I had no answer. The only reason. The only.
Reason? Okay, Reese. I just always see people absolutely love this book, and it's just not for me or for you, and that is perfectly okay. We all have our differences. It's what makes us.
This sounds like a Maybelline commercial. Oh my god. Sorry. I don't mean to ride Sarah J. Maas's. That's not what I meant. Okay. I think this series is what sparked my love for assassins. Not that I love actual assassins.
Dude.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I was scared. I was like terrified at night. Like I wanted to go like close all the blinds and stuff. I don't know why they were open.
Oh my god. In your Pretty Little Liars era. We saw a girl today looking at the Colleen table. And if I wasn't so socially awkward, I would have told her to just get them. She was debating what Colleen book to get. And she was holding all your perfects?
Yeah.
Girl, put that one down.
Like, November 9th, stay away.
Hell no. And everyone's hot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I could be like, you know, a little magic creature, turn into a unicorn or something. I want to compare it to books that I've read in the past that I thought were going to make me feel like this. But I think that would kind of spoil it. So I don't want to make that comparison.
I know.
What do you know?
It was just like they both, like through the story, we see them in college and then kind of like as they're growing and then where they... I feel like I'm writing an essay and trying to reach words.